Hey guys, I am so glad that you're jumping on because this is an amazing week that we have ahead of us, and there are so many exciting things going on that we want to make sure that you have a very clear and concise plan to take advantage of it all, to pack the room this weekend with guests, and really to reach your goals for the year and achieve everything that you want with Secret. So while this is really focused on this weekend, the whole purpose of this webinar is to make sure that you get a recap and you get a clear understanding of exactly what it's going to take to have success and reach everything that you want this year. So you can use this as an actual literal program, a foolproof plan, an exact and precise step-by-step process to follow to achieve everything that you want. And so I don't want to take a lot of time with the introduction. I want to jump right into it. So make sure that you grab your pen and we're ready to go. All right, now again, this is just 3 steps to success to achieve your vision and mission. And the first thing to keep in mind is that you're going to have to create a master plan. So first of all, that means outlining a clear path to where you want to go and then finding your most immediate focal point. Secondly, you've got to commit. And what we're going to talk about is committing to being a core agent and creating a core team. And that's what this whole, program is all about, is really going core, distinguishing yourself as one of, the elite class of producers in this company and this organization and this marketplace. And thirdly, to take action. Now, obviously, this is the most important. We've got to develop some simple daily disciplines that are going to get us to our goal and then be held accountable. And as you know, that is extremely important. So creating a master plan, we want to first begin with the end in mind. And the first step to getting somewhere, to getting anywhere, is knowing where you want to end up. Where do you want to be? So you've got to first decide on your destination, know where you want to be, and then work backwards. So then you can reverse engineer your year to arrive there. So, first of all, take a look, a big picture, bird's eye view of what do you want 2016 to look like. And when you know where you're starting from and where you're going to, then you have a clear path in front of you and you can fill in the steps in between. So let's start, by looking at the end of this year. Let's map out the benchmarks for the next 12 months so that we know that you arrive this year exactly where you want to. And of course, you have your big picture why in mind, your 5-year plan. But, take a look at the end of this year, 2016, because it's really exciting that we have the whole year ahead of us, but it goes quickly. So where are you at the end of this year? Okay, at the end of 2016, are you at the same place that you were last year or even the beginning of last year? Or have you made some new breakthroughs and reached some new benchmarks of, what rank do you want to be? What pin level or pay level do you want to be? And, how has your lifestyle changed? And what have you accomplished when you look back at the end of this year? And so that's your starting point, where you want to end. And, just get a clear vision for that. And then, you can get an idea of what it's going to take to close out a year like that. And Black Friday is going to be that big push that's going to probably get you over the edge to your ultimate goal for the end of the year. And so you can use this last Black Friday as kind of a guideline and take a look at how many customers you had to promote to in your database. Do you need to double or triple that to get where you want to be this year? How many team members did you have running and promoting the sale? How many people would you like to staff your business with by this November? Okay, so definitely have those numbers in mind. And then in the fall, we're going to have our fall retreat, which we'll talk about and you want to qualify for. But September is going to be a very big one because it is our one national convention for the year. And so, of course, this year we're having the road show in the spring, and so we only have the one big event that everyone's going to be flying into. And so this is definitely going to be the number one marker that you want to star and circle. So if you're going for a rank for 2016, you have a big picture goal in mind for that, then shoot for the national convention, because then you still have a quarter to close it out. But this is where you can cross the stage, get recognized. Do you want to make sure that you qualify for the silver and above meeting? You get to go behind those closed doors with the upper level leadership and get the firsthand information. Do you want to go to the platinum dinner, be dressed up for that banquet and rub elbows with all the crowns and the diamonds and the, just have a great time at that cocktail party. So, where do you want to be in September? Where do you want to be going into the September? What's your fall going to look like? Are you going to be having a team to promote the back to school campaign? July is a big benchmark because we have our Arizona Leadership Summit. So last year we called this peak, and to qualify for the Leadership Summit, you had to be at least an executive. Now, that was a brand new rank, but this year I'm sure we're probably going to have to raise the bar. So you want to start to look at, where you're going to be midpoint this year. If so, whatever your ultimate goal is by the end of the year, kind of take a glance at what it would take, where you'd be halfway at that kind of midpoint June, July. Another thing, to set your sights on is, are you going to be on the agent destination? So that trip to Mexico, to Cabo, is going to be in June, and are you going to be on those sunny beaches with the founders, the owners of the company, and all of the leadership? And then May is a good thing to look at because Mother's Day is the second biggest retail day of the year other than Black Friday. And we definitely had agents right here in this marketplace who use Mother's Day campaign to reach the level of silver. So this can definitely be something that pushes you over. And the Accelerate Roadshow. And this is 90 days out from now. And this is a big one for the Pacific Northwest because you have the CEO, the owner of the company, the founders, the cabinet members, the agency ambassadors, the diamond agents. They're coming to you. They're going to be in your backyard, bringing all the excitement, the training, and the whole secret environment to you. And it's just going to be a couple hours away over the border, so we can really build into this event and have the biggest that our marketplace has ever seen. And you definitely want to be looking at what where you want to be at this the next biggest event that we have coming up. What rank are you going to be? How many team members are you going to have that you can bring to the Vancouver Accelerate Roadshow? And then for those of you that can't get over the border, we do have the San Diego Accelerate, maybe a family there. We definitely want to expand into California. But in February, coming right up, we're closing out on the Mission Cabo deadline. So if you see yourself on that beach in June, then you want to make sure that you're pushing to hit those marks over the next month and a half. And of course, that means getting 150 lifetime points by February 28th. And that puts us right here in January, okay? So we've got 2 weeks left to January, and the next pending event is our Betty Perez Regional. So how are you building into this next event? And as you can see, there's a lot to accomplish. So when you map out the year ahead, then you know exactly what your benchmarks are. And then once you know what those benchmarks are that you need to reach, you can concentrate on the first single most important step that you need to take and that you have to hit and make, and make accomplishing it your primary focus. So, you have your big picture for the year, but of course we can only focus on one thing at a time. So you want to have that one primary focus that fits within the next 90 days. Now, what are the goals that you can accomplish before the Vancouver Accelerate? And definitely concentrate on that goal. And so this is what you really want to push for, make your single purpose. Now, next week, which will be this week, starting tomorrow, will be kind of the crunch time for the first 30 days of that 90-day run. And that is going to be stamped with our Betty Perez Washington Regional event. Now, the first thing to focus on for this month is this regional this Saturday on the 23rd. This is the first regional event of the year. And so effectively building into it will definitely set the tone for the rest of the months to come. And just, keep in mind, this isn't just, an event to show up to. This is a business building opportunity. Use it to kick off your 90-day run and build momentum into Accelerate. This is a chance to get your guests and your agents into a professional environment, to see a company showcase, be around the community of Secret, and get them in front of the founder to get a catch of the vision. Get the big picture. So do whatever you have to do to get promoted and get recognized and have as many people in the room as you can, whether they're agents, they're prospects, or they're just your friends and family, but promote like crazy and qualify for the leadership session with Betty Perez also. So building into this regional is also going to help you leverage the current promotions that we have in January and that were announced on the simulcast a couple weeks ago. So you still have until the end of the month. There's 2 weeks left to earn one free Accelerate ticket for every 5 lifetime points that you gain this month. So that's unlimited, okay? So, of course, those lifetime points will also count towards your free trip to Cabo. And we get lifetime points just for building our business, doing what we should do anyways, bringing on customers and agents. So you can do this by getting 5 customers by the end of the month, or just getting 1 or 2 agents with starter sets. But in addition, if you focus on recruiting, for every right and left superstar eligible agent that you recruit, you'll also get the unlimited $200 superstar bonus. So, maybe you qualified for superstar, but you didn't do it in your first 28 days, so you missed that $100 bonus. Well, now you get another $200, and you can do it over and over again and again and again until January 31st. Now, of course, getting those customers and especially getting those agents is going to come from having wild parties where you can get product on new faces. So you can use the double host rewards until the end of the month to open up new markets and reach into extended networks. And you definitely want to take advantage of this. This is a pending sense of urgency that you can use to get parties scheduled and closed by the 31st. So set your sights now on concrete goals for this month, okay? Get that free ticket. Get Superstar qualified again and again, and as many times as you want. Get those parties booked, get them closed. And all that's going to boil down to exposures, all right? And we'll talk about that in a second. But first, you've got to commit to those goals, all right? You've got the concrete goals, and once you have them set, commit, not just to having the end result of the goals, but to the process and the journey, to doing what it takes to get there, okay? And in your personal mission, the way that you conduct yourself and your business along the way. This was a great quote that I found by a famous mountaineer. He said, "Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness." But he said, whatever you can do, dream, you can do. Begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin now. So the first thing to ask yourself is, what is your commitment level to your goals? Because until you commit, nothing happens. Now think of somewhere that you really want to go and you've been planning on visiting forever. And now think of how different it is when you've gone somewhere that you purchased a ticket and you booked the airfare and you reserved the hotel. Once you decided to go and you know that you're going to be there, you start to think and feel and plan and act differently. All right. So, for me, I talked about going to Thailand forever, but I had no definite plans to go there. I didn't have anyone to go with. I didn't have any date set. It was just, always the someday. And years went by, but then I never made it to Thailand. And when I finally, realized I had the chance to go with Secret, and I decided that I was going to go there, I started looking for a cat sitter. I started, thinking of what I was going to wear. I started planning my business around it, right? Of course. So it's very different when you commit to something. Once you have purchased that ticket to your future. And so that's what commitment is. It's a feeling of dedication and loyalty to a cause, to an activity or your job, wholeheartedly dedicated. So be very honest with yourself, take your commitment temperature, and then you might have to raise it. So, where are you right now, and where do you need to be to achieve those goals? On a scale of 1 to 6, are you down at the bottom where you don't really care? Or are you at a 2, just above that, where you wish it would happen, okay, but you're not necessarily doing anything to make it happen? Or are you kind of at the halfway point where you want it to happen? And desire is the first seed to success. So you've got to, at least be there where you really want it. You at least desire it, and you've, come to terms with that, decided that it's something you have to have. And then next, have you decided you're going to do something about it? Are you, committed to the point where you're now determined that you're going to do your best? Or is it not your best? You're going to make it happen. On a scale of 1 to 6, a 6 out of 6 would be nothing will stop me. And of course, this is where you want to get to. You want to have a commitment level where you are invincible and you are unstoppable, and nothing is going to get in your way from your freedom and your ultimate vision and where you're going in life. If you are seriously committed to doing whatever it takes to get to your goals, your ultimate vision and your end destination, then you want to have key performance indicators to measure your operation and your progress by. All right, to be 100% committed to the process, you have to be clear on exactly what it is. So once you're clear on what that process is, what's required to successfully run your business and reach your destination, then sell out to it. All right. But, first identify what these key performance indicators are, because these are what help an organization define and measure their progress towards those organizational goals. So a KPI is a predefined organizational process. It's also it also gives you clear business objectives for the process, all right? So what you're going to do, why you're going to do it, and then it gives you the quantitative and qualitative measurements, which is very important. That's what creates the measuring stick for you to hold your activity up to, and know whether you are doing what it takes to run your business. And most importantly, it's an active approach for achievement, all right? So it's the action steps that must be taken. So if you are really running a business, you're not just in Secret, signed up for Secret, a part of Secret, but you are taking personal pride and ownership of this business in your own 2 hands to get to your goals, and you're going to want to hold your business operation up against some standard key performance indicators. And these are the 10 commitments that are at the core of your success. If you hold your business in alignment with these key performance indicators, then you will absolutely get the necessary results. I'm telling you, it would be almost impossible to fail if you were core and you were entirely sold out to this process for at least a year. And then you duplicated that. You found and you developed a team of completely committed core individuals to join you. And believe me, it would only take just a few core people that locked arms with you with the same vision to make a very massive, massive impact. But before you can find those kinds of people, you have to become one, all right? Because you attract what you are. You attract what you become. So measure everything against whether you are a core agent. And what distinguishes, a core individual? What distinguishes a crown agent from a regular agent? What separates the average from the leaders, from the top producers, and income earners? Income earners is the responsibility and the consistent positive impact decisions that they make. All right, what defines a winner from a loser and the successful people from the average people is that the successful people, they make daily decisions and they exercise simple disciplines. They have a plan and they work their plan with a long-term vision in mind. Okay, they have a daily dedication to action steps to get them there. So you want to be committed to the 10 core principles of success in your business, and then you'll begin to attract the other committed core agents along the way. So these are the 10 core commitments that you want to absolutely live by, operate your business by on a day-to-day basis. First of all, the number 1 core commitment is to use your regimen and be a product of the product. You're a walking billboard for your brand, and so you want to proudly represent it. You invest in your personal business. Only use your own company's product line from head to toe. And your personal story will ultimately become your most valuable and compelling testimonial. So you want to really, use your daily regimen consistently and take a photo every 30, 60 to 90 days of using your regimen so you can show people, your own story, what Secret has done for you. And the second core commitment is to equip yourself and all agents. Now, above all else, you have got to remain active. Order your replenishment every 4 weeks. First of all, just to be remain eligible to receive any commissions whatsoever, and also to bank all business volume. Okay, because there's no way you can be a core agent if you're not even active. It just makes no sense if you don't see yourself a year from now, if you don't see yourself cashing out those team commissions and the volume that you run through your business, then how can you say that's your core? You've got to know that whether you're qualified for team commissions right now, whether you have one leg built or two legs built, that you are compounding that volume because of the long-term objective for where you're going to end up. The third of the 10 core commitments is to commit to personal development. You want to invest in your business, but you also want to invest in yourself, okay? So work as much on yourself as you do on your business to continue growing. You want to regularly engage with positive material that's going to keep you in that peak state for maximum performance and results, and to attract those people to you that have the same mindset, mentality, and attitude. So A, you want to read 10 pages of a good book per day. B, you want to listen to 15 minutes of inspirational, motivational, or educational audio. And C, you want to learn as much as you can from your mentors and leaders. So get around the people who have what you have and mirror and match, model their behavior and their thinking. The fourth 10 core commitment is to plug into communication. Take personal pride and responsibility to stay connected to your secret community and in tune with what's happening in your company, all right? Just be up to date on the announcements and the breaking news so that you can effectively be the one to deliver it to your team and to your customers. And, you don't ever want to be 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months behind on any breaking news. So first of all, A, opt into all notifications in your back office. B, subscribe to the HQ text reminders by sending a text message to 88588. So text the word secret to 88588, and you're going to get reminders for the vision cast and all the most up-to-date blips from HQ. And C, it's non-negotiable that you are on the vision cast, be on the company webinars, and be on your team call or webinar. The fifth core commitment is to make 2 contacts per day. Why? Because you must always be sharing the product and the opportunity. This is what grows your business. Right? So be constantly and continuously connecting with your prospects, following up and moving them to the next exposure via a third-party tool. And of course, always use something other than you to do the presentation. A product, a video, a 3-way call, a 5-in-5 sheet, a flip book, whatever it is. If you are talking, if your lips are moving, you should be pointing to something or telling someone else's story that you're edifying. So it doesn't have to be, of course you want to be adding 2 new contacts to your list every day, but you may just be following up, and it counts as following up if you're moving them forward in the exposure process using a third-party tool. 2 parties per week, of course, commit to the system for success. And we call it a system for a reason, because this means to save yourself some time, energy, and money. Now, if you are committed to the system for success and you commit to doing 2 parties per week with 3 people per party, that is 6 people per week that you are exposing to the product and the opportunity. If you do this 4 weeks in a row, that's of course 24 people per month. Now, if you just have a 20% success rate or closing rate, out of those 24 people, 4 become core agents that are committed to the 10 core commitments and the system for success, then at the end of 30 days, you've now quadrupled yourself. You went from just out there working for your business to having 4 team members at your side. Now, those 4 team members are truly core, and they're going to go out and they're going to reproduce the same results. At the end of month 2, you have 16 team members. If those 16 get their 4, that's 64 team members at the end of 90 days. So again, we're at the beginning of a 90-day run into the Accelerate Roadshow. If you started this now, imagine where you would be in Vancouver, okay? There was 64 people on your team. You know, what rank would you be? What would you be able to accomplish if you really added 64 team members? And it's very simple. Just, again, it doesn't take a lot. It just takes being committed, being core, and finding a few committed core individuals to do the same, all right? Just 4 team members, adding 4 each month gets you 64. The 7th core commitment is to follow the golden strategy. Add 2 recover masks per week. Okay? The golden strategy is, you know, intended to keep your pipeline full and the secret system turning. And so you want to commit to demonstrating 2 full-size recover masks per week and adding 8 new prospects in play per month. This is going to constantly generate new leads for your business, hold you accountable, and increase your overall volume consumption. All right, so again, it doesn't take a lot. Check it out. It's like you do 2 recover masks per week. It's very simple. It's extremely doable, but that puts 8 new prospects into your, you know, business. But if you do that, you know, for the year, that compounds to 100 prospects that you've personally exposed over the year. But imagine if just 1 out of those 8 per month becomes a core agent and they commit to the 10 core commitments and following the golden strategy. That's 1,353 prospects with just 1 person a month committing to the 2 recover masks per week with you. You're going to have 1,300 people over the year exposed to your product and your company on your behalf. This becomes very significant when you're core, when you're committed, and you have a few core committed people. 1 long distance package per week, all right? Plan to double your market reach 1 year from now. If you don't want to be in the same place as you were last year, if you don't want to be at the end of 2016 where you were at the end of 2015, then you want to start planning now to, you know, double your reach and build a national and international business. You know, where do you want your business to expand to? All you have to do is use the simple process of sending 1 regimen sample outside of your local area per week. So I would say anywhere that's outside of where you could drive in, you know, an hour or 2. And that is 50 long distance packages that you send out through your business per year. Now imagine if you just added 5 core agents on your team who did the same, only 5, that's 300 people reached in new markets per year. Okay, so imagine expanding your business to 300 markets. That is how you're going to grow your business very effortlessly, nationally and even internationally. It's actually how the whole country of Australia is open. Core commitment number 9 is to be at the events. The only way that you're going to grow your business and your team is to grow the room. You know, again, take personal pride in our marketplace and know that the only way to duplicate is by building through events. The size of your check is always going to match the size of your team in the room. And you will never have core agents committed unless you're first committed to showing up at every local training and national convention. Every presentation is going to be a brand new presentation when you have a guest or a new team member with you. All right, so be, you know, using these events to connect with your community and, you know, learn to master your trade. This is where you get to sharpen your axe. Plus, of course, attending the national convention is non-negotiable. This is where your vision, your belief get bigger. You get the inspiration, the education, and most excitingly, the recognition that's going to extend and sustain your lifespan in this business. And ultimately, the 10th core commitment is to be here a year from now. Most importantly, you want to recognize that this is, you know, not a get rich quick scheme. This is a get wealthy over time plan. And any career, any business model is going to take 5 to 10 years to successfully develop. So decide now that you're going to embrace the journey and be confident that having a clear 5 to 10 year part-time plan to change your life is better than a never plan and staying where you are indefinitely. So be committed to sticking and staying until you get your pay. Be persistent and consistent in pursuing your dream, and be here a year from now doing steps 1 through 9. Okay, now after you've determined what's required for you and you've fully committed to it, all you need to do is set a plan in motion and execute it to ensure that it gets done. You've got to take action. And taking action, you know, boils down to this. Imagine that your goal is your ultimate vision for where you want to be. All right, so that's like this island. Imagine if you just set out on the Pacific Ocean, you know, you just started swimming and you had no definite definition in mind, you had no plan route on how to get there, imagine how long you'd be aimlessly, indefinitely lost at sea. You would never do that. You never just get on your inner tube or your life raft or just start swimming. And so you, in the same way, have to be focused on a definite destination. And that's critical. That's where you start. But then your commitment is the boat that keeps you afloat and takes you there. And so, again, it's like you've got to get off of dry land and you've got to burn your bridges and your ships and say, all right, you know what, I'm committed. You get in that boat and you take off. But then your action is like the sail, okay? It's what moves you in that direction. As Jim Rohn says, the same wind blows on us all. The winds of disaster, of opportunity, and change. And therefore, it's not the blowing of the wind, but the set of the sails that determines our direction in life, right? So it's your actions, it's your daily decisions, the actions that you take that are going to move you, even though you're committed. That's what's going to move you towards your ultimate destination and vision. So your action, okay, those daily decisions, it's the daily method of operation. And that is just a very simple checklist of bite-sized activities that are exactly what you should be doing on a day-to-day basis to keep you in line with the 10 core commitments. So this is a breakdown of what are the most important activities for each one. Using your regimen, equipping yourself in all agents, plugging into the vision cast, using making 2 contacts per day, sharing 2 recover masks per week, doing 2 parties per week, sending out 1 long distance package, being at the events, and committing to the process. And what we've created to help you, make it really easy to just have a guide of what you should be doing on a day-to-day basis is create a 6-point system. So these are your 6 points to succeed. And you want to just be focused on getting these 6 success points every day. You can very easily and sustainably build a productive and profitable business very, very part-time or full-time if you're able, if you just choose from these 25 high payoff activities every day. So they can be in any combination. It doesn't have to be 7 days a week, but at least 5 days a week. Earn 6 success points a day. And every high payoff activity is important, but they're going to vary in point value based on their payoff level. So you want to focus on the highest points first, okay? And this is just a power program to help you accurately measure your activity and keep you tuned into your commitments. If you use this as a guide, you're going to make sure that your efforts are effective. So counting your success points, it's going to keep you on track, and it'll keep you prioritizing the highest payoff money-making activities, and it'll keep your radar always switched on to opportunities to grow and advance your business. So when I'm going out there and I'm looking to get my 6 success points, my radar's on, and then I'm aware of opportunities to share the product, to get out a recover mask, to share the opportunity, to send someone a video or to follow up, because I'm looking for it. And when you're looking for it and you're measuring and you're tracking, you'll be amazed at the opportunities that come your way. But when your radar's turned off and you have no measuring system, you have no guideline, it's very easy to just kind of be like, oh, well, I'm doing secret. And so you really want to live by these 6 points to succeed. If you're using these success points, I promise you will be amazed at how much you will compound your results in just the next 90 days. I mean, even commit to this over the next 90-day run, and you will be astounded at what getting 6 success points a day will do for your business. So the reason this is worth it is because this is how you're going to get real results. I mean, with these 6 success points per day, you have a very precise plan to reach your goals and track your progress. And this is going to help you create time freedom, because you're going to be focusing on the high payoff activities, which maximizes efficiency. And of course, we're all about creating that core group, because like we just talked about, it doesn't take a lot of committed people, but just a few people who are going to be core with you. So this helps you to identify your key partners by who is also consistently getting 6 points a day. Now, if you take a look at these points, the point system, again, it's going to value the activities based on their return potential for your efforts. And we want to try to prioritize fitting in the highest point activities first and the most often. Because as you can see here, the 1 point activities, they tend to be more you building activities. The 2 to 3 and higher activities are more business building. So using your regimen, reading 10 pages of a book, listening to 15 minutes of inspirational education, joining a conference call or a webinar, reading the Secret HQ weekly newsletter. They're important, and that's why you give yourself a point for them. But they're not, as high on the money-making scale, and so that's why they're only 1 point. So you don't want to spend your day, doing 6 little 1 point activities. You want to make sure that you're getting a good mixture of income-producing activities. So your 2 point activities will be using your weekly regimen, watching the vision cast, which of course is non-negotiable, plugging into the business opportunity webinar. And again, making it a business building activity would mean that you're promoting it to your team and you're getting guests on to watch it, or you're having a live open house event and you're showing that business overview in your home, but you're inviting guests in to watch it, sharing the secret product, sharing the opportunity, doing a three-way call, or sharing a third-party tool. So notice that anytime you're contacting a prospect, it only counts if you're moving them forward in the exposure process, which means you're sharing the product or the opportunity, using a third-party tool. So you're introducing them to some other third-party information, like a video, a 5 and 5 one-sheeter, or an expert. Your 3 point activities are higher points for investing in your business. Things that will grow your prospect pipeline, grow your team, and grow your local market. So ordering your monthly replenishment, going through the Mission Royale blueprint to launch a new agent, giving or demoing a recover mask, sending a sample regimen, or attending a local training or regional event. Your 4 point activities, these are going to be the greatest money makers. So these are the ones that you really want to make sure you have somewhere in your daily activity every day. Presenting and enrolling a new agent or a customer, hosting a party, presenting at a party, or doing a Skype party. So presentations and enrolling customers or agents, those are the key. The big 6 point activities, the pass go for free cards, those are for when you're at a national convention or you're celebrating your 1 year anniversary. Now, the big question is, does your activity match your commitment? So remember when we looked at that thermometer and we took your commitment temperature, if you're applying the measuring system to your activity, then you have a way to gauge your activity level and see how it matches your commitment level. Because it's easy to say or feel that you're committed, but it's your activity that's going to tell the truly accurate account for where you're at. And it's important to know, of course, you have to start with your commitment, because generally, as you can see from this diagram, your activity is going to follow your commitment level. Rarely are you going to have more activity, do more activity than you are committed. So as you can probably imagine, when your core, your commitment and your focus and those activities are really important. So let's say, if you start out on a Monday and your commitment level is a 4, your activity level at max can be a 4. And your commitment level, on Tuesday might almost be up to a 5, but your activity level might not match up to that. So when your core and when your commitment and your focus on the right activity sync up, it creates this synergistic, magical magnetic force for your success. And that's what you're looking for. So you want to take your temperature, not just once, but on a daily basis, on a scale of 1 to 6. How committed are you when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed, when you end your day, when you start your day and you end your day? What was your commitment level look like? And then when your activity matches your commitment, then you're distinguishing yourself as a leader, as a foundational part of the core group that's defined by the example that they set. So consistent commitment plus activity, that's what equals results, right? When you know that you consistently are, committed on a 6 out of 6, you're committed to the 10 core um, commitments, and your activity level matches that, that's when you're going to get results. And so this is the secret recipe. And for those who want that, the ones who want to set themselves apart as core leaders and to attract and build a business team of core leaders, we've created an elite club. And this is for the club, for the people who want to attract what they want to become. The question, of course, is, are you core? So how to become a core member? You get 4 to be core. All you have to do is earn 4 tickets per month to be part of the core club. So for every customer that you get 1 ticket. And for every agent that you get, you're going to get 2 tickets. So let's say, for example, in January, you got 2 customers and 1 recruit. In February, you could get 2 recruits, and that'll be 2 tickets per recruit, which give you 4 points. In March, you might get your E4 credit and have 4 customers, and that would get you your 4 points. So it's very simple, and belonging to the club is a status for producers that must be earned each month. So if you're following the 10 core commitments in the daily method of operation, the results will naturally follow your activity. So for every customer that you enroll, of course, you're going to get that golden ticket. For every agent you enroll, you're going to get 2 golden tickets. And every 4 tickets that you receive a month will qualify you as a member, 4 minimum. So what we're going to do is have a sign-in sheet each month at the regional event and at the community day to record your new customers and agents. And when you log them, we're going to give you an exchange ticket. So you'll receive them there. And then you want to hang on to those, save those tickets, because you'll get to redeem them for member-only rewards and special drawings. But some of the benefits that you'll receive as a member is VIP seating at events. So, if you are producing like a leader, you're going to be treated like a leader. You'll get to attend exclusive leadership functions, which means that club members are going to get to qualify for the Leaders Night Out, which we'll talk about in a bit, and that's going to become really important. And you get to go on special quarterly retreats. And so this is something we're really excited of. If you're part of the club 3 months in a row, so you earn 12 tickets in a quarter, you will qualify for our core club retreat. And the first one we're going to have coming up is going to be our spring core club retreat. It's going to be at the end of April, and it's going to be just an amazing time. We are going to rent a beach house, and we're going to hang out with our new core inner circle. We're going to create an amazing bonding experience, cook big breakfast, relax, hang out around a campfire, sip wine. We're just going to have, a staycation, a local getaway here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. So it'll be something doable, but just, a chance to rejuvenate and celebrate your hard work and success. And here's what's really awesome is your monthly tickets can be carried forward within each quarter to qualify. All right, so you have to earn 12 tickets within 3 months to go on the retreat, but tickets earned in any month can carry forward within a qualifying quarter. So say, for example, for this next retreat coming up, if you got 6 tickets in January, but then you only got 2 in February and 4 in March, you would still be eligible to go on the retreat because your 2 extra points from January would roll over to February to qualify you for that month and make up for it. So this is totally doable, even if you have new agents that are joining the business, and they can still make it on this retreat. But keep in mind that the point of tracking your 6 success points per day and of earning your core club tickets, that is all to just help you monitor your consistency. And, really it's going to boil down to the slight edge effect, to dedicating yourself to those small, simple disciplines that are just as easy not to do as they are to do. But compounded over time, they create massive results and success. So pushing yourself every month to, pushing yourself every day to get those 6 points, and pushing yourself every month to qualify for your core club tickets. It might be temporarily uncomfortable, but those are the things that will allow you to be permanently comfortable later. And so this is, the core principle of the side edge. Do what's uncomfortable early, because it, will become comfortable later. And that will take you on the upward curve to success. So your monthly tickets, those are going to be the inevitable byproduct of being core. And if you're consistent with following the 10 core commitments and you're dedicated to simple daily discipline of getting your success points, then those results will come and they will compound and they're going to push you along that upward curve. But enrolling the agents, it just comes from regularly focusing on the high payoff activities that build your business, sharing the product and sharing the opportunity from the simple discipline of daily exposures. All right, exposures is everything. And recruiting is a process, and so engaging in that process means introducing them to a series of quality exposures. Now, exposure means that they're actually experiencing, touching, seeing, hearing information about our product or our opportunity from a third-party source. And again, a third-party source is anything other than you. So calling or contacting someone and talking to them about secret is not an exposure. It's just the first necessary step to introduce them into the process and begin exposing them to a credible resource, a tool, an expert, or an event. And using this exposure process takes someone systematically through precisely calculated escalating steps that are going to move them towards feeling confident in making the decision to get started. And so a lot of times, you have people and they might come to a party or they might come to a 5-on-5 sit down and they don't join it, they don't get started. And that's normal because they haven't gone through the full exposure process. And that's why you want to understand this 3-step process. And you want to always make sure that everyone is getting fully exposed to a tool, an expert, an event. A tool, an expert, and an event. Now, first of all, when you use a tool, a product, an exposure video, the 5-on-5 sheet. This gives someone direct access to the information without prejudging it or seeing it through a filter first, which that filter might be you, okay, or their relationship or their experience with you. And when you edify an expert and you put them onto a 3-way call or you use a 2-on-1 sit down, that confirms the information that they hear, and it gives that information and it gives you credibility. It's like having a second opinion. Even if you go to a doctor, everyone says, get a second opinion. Why? And then that just makes the first opinion more credible, right? If it's in sync. So the expert is just going to confirm the information that you already introduced them to. And that's going to make them more confident, act as that second opinion. And then lastly, the event, the live event, the wow party, or the business opportunity overview, or regional event. When you get someone to a live event, they're going to get more of a full experience. They're going to get more facts and more details, and they're going to get the social proof. And all of this just simply validates the information that they've seen and that they've heard, and that they have now decided is credible. So using the exposure process, it's a result of regularly engaging in the high payoff activities. This is what's going to grow your business, introducing people to the product and the opportunity using this system. Now, I can show you, real live numbers. These are the real numbers from the #1 recruiter in Secret from last year. He has now recruited over 100 people in a 12-month period, but these were the numbers that he tracked over a 10-month period. So in 10 months, he called 543 people. Now, out of those 543, not everyone was open to moving forward and entering the exposure process. So of those 543, he was actually able to expose 217 of them. So now 217 people were introduced to a third-party tool. Of those, he got 142 to the next step, to a presentation. And they got more information. And out of those 142 people, he signed up, more than half. So 78, almost 80 people in 10 months. And he still has 64 people in play, meaning they haven't said yes and I haven't said no. They're still going through the exposure process. So this, imagine what it would do for you and for your business if you recruited 100 people in 1 year. And it's totally possible. It just really boils down to continuously putting people through that exposure process. And it might seem daunting exposing 520 people in a week or a month, but if you apply the slight edge principle and you consistently commit to, again, the 10 core commitments, 2 exposures a day, it's totally possible to recruit 100 people per year. And as you duplicate your commitment, your results will multiply and you'll begin to attract other core agents and develop your dream team. So like if you just commit to being core, to doing 2 exposures per day, and you do that only 5 days a week, that's 10 per week. If you do 10 exposures per week for 1 year, that's 520 people that you also exposed. And if you have the same success rate, right, the 80-20 rule, and 20% get started, we're not even talking about half, that's 100 personal recruits per year. Okay, so just the slight edge, doing 2 exposures per day, following the 10 core commitments is going to, what you can't do in a week or a month, you can easily do by just breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. Now, here's what's even more exciting. If out of those 100 personal recruits, only 20% were core and they committed to the same 10 core commitments, doing 2 contacts per day, that's 100 recruits times 20, which is 2,000 agents on your team over the course of the year. Now, if those agents did nothing but remain active at the minimum 35 BV, that's still Ruby volume without them signing any agents or customers. So, I mean, this is the power of really being core and developing a core group. Now, to help you get started and just make it fun, we're presenting a little challenge going into our regional event with Betty Perez, which is this Saturday, and it's our next upcoming benchmark. So we're extending the Amazing Race game until the regional. And here's how you play. There are 3 basic elements to the game. Number 1, you've got to start. And you start by contacting 10 players. Well, you want to contact probably 25 unexposed contacts, because out of those, you want to get 10 to enter the race. Because remember, not everyone you call is going to be open to moving forward in the exposure process. And you have to be able to connect with them in order to enter them into the race. So you get 10 players enter the race. That's the start. And then you expose, okay? So you move each player to the next point of exposure. And for this contest, you need to introduce them to 2 tools, all right? So a product and a video, and then a 3-way call with an expert. So those 3 exposures and the live event, just like we talked about, tools, expert, and live event. And this might sound like a lot, but look, you can very easily do it. Let's say you use the golden strategy, which is a great way. Of course, we all committed to getting our 8 recover mass out over this 90-day run. And so we have to get 8 recover mass done by the end of January anyways. So let's say you get your recover mass out. You've introduced them now to a product. You sit them down. They watch those videos. They've now had their second exposure. You get them on the call with an expert, and that expert can promote our next pending event, which would be our Tuesday night business overview. So I would definitely build into that, because that counts as a live event. In fact, I would host an open house and get all of these people over at one time, get that social proof and the excitement and the energy in the room, have them watch the business overview with one of our diamond agents, and there you have it. You could have 10 people knocked out in the next 72 hours. So, don't overcomplicate it. Just simply, get your list together, contact those players, enter them into the game, and start moving them through the exposure process. And then to finish, you've got to get at least 10 players to the finish line. So move through all 5 points. So you can enter as many players as you want to make sure that at least 10 finish. So we're going to start by contacting. That enters them into the race, introduce them to a product. Any product will work, but of course using the golden strategy will kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Introduce them to the video, and if I was you, I would use the new secret story video. Why? Because it features Betty Perez and her story, and she's on the video, and she's coming here this Saturday, so that's going to be really effective. The expert is going to confirm the information, answer questions, invite them to that live event, which can be the business overview. You can book as many wow parties as you want between now and Friday, but that's going to get you across the finish line. And here's what you get if you finish. Everyone who finishes the race qualifies for the Leaders Night Out. And this is, something that you absolutely have to make a criteria for yourself. This otherwise, the only way to get there is to be a bronze or above agent, or as we discussed now, to become a core member. So if you're a core member, you have your 4 customers for the month, or you've got 2 agents, or you have 1 agent and and then 2 customers, then you also get to come to the leaders night out. So there's actually, oops, I didn't put it there. So there's actually 3 ways to qualify: finish the race, be a paid bronze or higher, or qualify for the core club before this Friday. And then it's just going to be, a great time. You get to go to a private dinner, which is one of our favorite restaurants, for an intimate coaching session and Q&A. And I just talked to Betty tonight, and she was reserving special higher level learning for the people who, make a commitment to being there. And then you get to party with the pros. We're going to go out. We're going to a Western club. We're going to put our cowboy boots on. We're going to do some line dancing. It's just going to be a hoot, a fun time. We'll have, cocktails and cowboys and just enjoy ourselves, and it'll be something that you'll never forget, and it's a rare opportunity to have that kind of experience, again, with the founder of the company. Of course, there will be a winner. So to win the race, all you have to do is be the person who has the most players to cross the finish line. That means you have to have 11 players minimum, and a tie will be broken by the most exposures done and the most lifetime points earned in December. So make sure you're tracking it, okay? Because all of that is going to be verified. But the grand prize is definitely worth it. Not only are you going to get special recognition at the regional, but you're going to receive from Betty herself the secret flat iron. This is a $350 prize. It's the product of the month, and so the special pricing on it ends in January. You definitely want to get your hands on it now, if not just for the special price, for free. Okay, so lastly, again, in this whole formula is accountability, because iron sharpens iron. And here's what we have, guys. We have a great community. We have a lot of people in this marketplace that are committed to being core and making it happen. And so you want to distinguish yourself. If you're going to rise up, if you're going to, stake claim and say that you're going to be a core member and you're going to be part of the club and you're going to be committed to the 10 core commitments and getting your 6 success points and earning those tickets, then let us know. You want to use what's called the spotlight effect. And so we're stronger together. Make your activity visible. It stretches your character by putting you on the spot when it comes to your goals, and that gives you a sense of integrity. So that's the fire that keeps your feet moving and the fuel that drives you forward. And really, we're looking for that elite class, and it's just going to inspire and motivate everybody. When every time you get a success point, go ahead and post it on Facebook, shout it out so we can cheer you on. And also because you want to get into the habit of being core, because we are creatures of habit. If you don't get into the habit of being core and you find yourself, struggling long enough, then that's what you're going to become accustomed to. And you're going to get in the habit of being that state of being and feeling uncomfortable. That will become your habit. So on the road to success, you're guaranteed to encounter obstacles. And one of those obstacles is going to be self-sabotage. And so using accountability can be used as a tool to keep you focused and persistent, regardless of the distractions, regardless of the self-sabotage that you might feel. So commit to going golden, all right? So get on Facebook. If you've got your box of recover and maybe it's halfway through the month and you haven't even started, but show your box of recover that you know what, you're committed and you're going to demo 8 packets this month, and then share your results. If you put a recover mask on somebody, post those results, post those pictures on Facebook, again, so we can see, put the spotlight on yourself. Show your activity, count those points, count your success points. All right. So again, start every day with taking your temperature, measure on a scale of 1 to 6. What is your commitment level? And then at the end of the day, what were your success points? And share your daily commitment versus your activity ratio. Did you get 6 success? Were you committed on to a 6 out of 6? And did you get 6 success points by the end of the day? So guys, let's do it. Let's make this happen. Let's develop that elite class of core leaders. Let's all commit, and let's create our master plan, commit and take action, and make this the most successful year ever. This is going to be the turning point. This is going to be the launching pad for your breakthrough this year. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on Saturday.